So New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is apologizing after now a second former aide has come forward and accused him of sexual harassment. This weekend, former aide Charlotte Bennett, a health policy advisor in the Democratic governor's administration until November, told the New York Times that Cuomo asked her all sorts of inappropriate questions about her sex life, including whether she had ever slept with older men. And I should note that she's younger, Cuomo is much older than her, so it was easy to kind of connect the dots and figure out that he was trying to refer to himself there. Charlotte Bennett said the governor had asked her numerous questions about her personal life, including whether she thought age made a difference in romantic relationships, and had said that he was open to relationships with women in their 20s. Wow, what a revelation. An older man is interested in a relationship with a woman who's much, much younger, wow. Comments that she interpreted as clear overtures, for obvious reasons, to a sexual relationship. And I wanted to give you this quote from Charlotte Bennett. She said this: he asked me if I believed if age made a difference in relationships. And he also asked me in the same conversation if I had ever been with an older man. I understood the governor wanted to sleep with me and felt horribly uncomfortable and scared, and was wondering how I was going to get out of it, and assumed it was the end of my job. And that power imbalance is a huge problem, because he's her boss and he's asking her incredibly inappropriate, invasive questions. And it puts female employees like her, like Charlotte Bennett, in a terrible position. And it takes a lot to come out and speak out about her alleged experiences with Cuomo. And I should also note that this is now the second former aide who's come out and alleged that he had sexually harassed her.
Yeah, so look, Cuomo's in trouble. So the nursing home situation was a debacle to begin with. And now this layered on top is a very powerful 1-2 punches. Now, but let's break it down. So let's just do political analysis for a second of how this plays out. There's of course a substance that Anna talked about whether there's harassment in the first place, right? That's a more important issue. But when you look at the politics of it, so if it turns out that he tried to kiss the first person that came out, and that's what she alleged, well, then he's in a world of trouble. You cannot cross that line. Now, Andrew Cuomo swears up and down in his public statements that he did not do anything physical. So that will be pivotal. Then number two, if it was just joking around in general, which is what Cuomo's statements seem to indicate, then he would almost certainly survive that politically. Whether you think he should or not, he would definitely survive that. But the middle ground one, and where it'll be interesting politically, and for a lot of you will not be middle ground, is the flirting. It's the unsolicited and fairly clear flirting with both of these women. Now I say fairly clear, but to be fair, if these accounts are right, it's definitive. That's definitely flirting, right? It's not really in question. Now he can come out and say they're not correct, and that's not how the conversations happen. And in one of the cases on the plane, he has witnesses to back him up on the strip poker comment from the first set of allegations, right? But if it turns out he really did say these things, well, that then we're just from a political perspective, we're gonna see how many allies he has and how many enemies he has in the state, and we're gonna see how much people are enraged by it if they think. And and this is not good, and it certainly does not speak to all older Americans, but a lot of older Americans think the flirting is not that big a deal. Now, a lot of you will be enraged by even hearing that opinion, but I'm not saying it. I'm relaying to you what older Americans think, because I've seen it in other stories. Younger Americans, on the other hand, think it's totally unacceptable, and that he's got to resign if he does that. So there's that battle too. So that's what makes it a really interesting story on many levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to give you his apology, because he doesn't apologize for what he said. He apologizes for how it was interpreted. But I think that this so-called apology is important to mention, because he's not denying that he made these comments. So He says, I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways I never intended. I acknowledge some of the things I have said and have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. To the extent anyone felt that way, I am truly sorry about that. So that's not a denial. It's also not really a full-blown apology. It's more of a, if I have offended you, I do apologize for that. But what I do also kind of find interesting, Cenk, is that this is an important story, don't get me wrong, and it's something that should be investigated. But I do find it interesting that Cuomo's scandal regarding his cover-up of mass deaths in his own state, because of decisions he made related to the coronavirus pandemic in nursing homes, didn't really seem to get as much attention as this does. And I just find that questionable, to be honest.
Anna, you're so right about that. And it's actually super frustrating. It's not to say that this story shouldn't get attention, it should.
Definitely.
But the press is obsessed with anything related to sex. And so it's not that they shouldn't be obsessed with these allegations. It's that they should be at least as obsessed with all the people that died in the nursing homes. So, Cuomo made a really terrible decision to take them out of the hospitals, COVID patients, and put them into nursing homes. I mean, that was just flat out disastrous. Then he clearly covered it up. And let alone the Medicaid cuts that caused the problem with the hospitals in the first place. So when you put all that together, that is a massive story. And it got some play, but these allegations are getting a lot more play. So, and look, some of you might think, hey, Cuomo's a giant corporate Democrat, so I don't really care what gets him. I do care about the principles, and I think that the nursing home story is one that people should stay on, because that's just so important to how you actually govern.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.